out on the cliff paths by the coast this afternoon. Where I am right now, it's really nice and calm and sunny. Get anywhere near the edges of the cliffs overlooking the sea, and it's really windy. Not quite sure what I'm going to be shooting today, but we'll have to see. Whatever I end up doing, I hope you'll enjoy the video. If you do, and you're new here, don't forget to hit subscribe before you go. Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. Today I really wasn't sure about coming out. I kind of pushed myself to get off my backside and come out and do something. And actually the main reason for coming out today was to shoot some footage for a completely different video. It was a video review I did of some filters. If you haven't seen that video yet, I'll stick a link to it up there. Now I've already shot that footage and hopefully it's worked out okay. And I say hopefully because the other reason for coming out today is I'm trying out a new video system. Because my old video, my GoPro and gimbal system was causing me too many problems, so I've bought something new. It's a DJI Pocket 2, so I want to see how that works out. So this video might be completely different, it might be a complete disaster, I don't know. The original plan coming out today was I was thinking, yeah, I'll come out and do a sunset shoot. Honestly, I'm not sure if that's going to happen. As I said, I kind of had to push myself to come out today because I've got a lot of other things going on. I've got a really busy day tomorrow, and sunset tonight is about, I don't know, 9:10. So if I stay out somewhere till sunset, by the time I get back to the car, drive home, it's going to be, you know, maybe 11 o'clock time. So I'm not sure. With a busy day tomorrow, I may end up just seeing what I can shoot, you know, maybe an hour and a half before sunset, see if I can find something interesting. Anyway, I'm going to have a wander around, see what I can find, and I'll catch up with you in a little while. Okay, bit of a wind test for this new microphone system. I'm actually going to turn into the wind now and see what it does. Be interesting to see if anything's audible. Definitely a little bit calmer around this part. I've walked along for about 15-20 minutes. See nearby one of my favourite trees along the coastline here, which is over there. Wondering whether to try to do something with the tree. Not sure. Photographed it a few times. It's a nice shape, but just trying to do something different with it is the challenge. Let's go and have a look. So I had a look over, you know, close up to the tree, but I've done that loads of times. I was then wondering about shooting it from over here. You can see we've got these kind of yellow flower things here. I was thinking maybe those in the foreground, tree in the background. What you may be able to see down here is some lovely yellow flowers clustered around. Then we've got a load of hard packed sand, and then we've got that tree off in the background. And in order to get this, I'm getting the camera nice and low down. So by getting nice and low down, I'm making a real feature of that foreground with the bright yellow flowers, and the tree becomes quite small. At the moment I've got it off to one side, but I'm thinking it might be better centered. So let's try that. Yep, I think the tree looks better centered. So the shape of the flowers kind of points towards the tree in the background. We've got a little bit of nice sky. I'm going to have to focus stack this to make it work, and I'm going to need a fast exposure because, as you can see, the flowers are blowing around in the wind. So one shot on the tree, and one shot on the flowers should do. I've been walking around for quite a while now. I've explored down some kind of side trails and off all over the place. But somehow inspiration just isn't quite grabbing me. And sometimes it happens that way. Sometimes inspiration just isn't there. Sometimes it's the wrong day to be out. Sometimes you just can't get motivated by the scenes that you've got, and that's okay. That happens. You just have to accept it. Sometimes when that happens, just walking around and maybe taking the pressure off, not thinking about doing photography and just enjoying the scenery will, you know, create some kind of spark, and sometimes it won't. And if it doesn't, it doesn't. I've scrambled up onto the top of the hills which are above the cliffs that I've spent all this time walking around, and I've been rewarded with spectacular views out through the landscape here. I'm not looking towards the sea, I'm looking inland. So we're looking all the way out there. We've got El Castellet's Ridge running across, behind that the Aitana Mountains, and then we've got Puig Campana Mountain, different angle to normally shooting it. You can see Rodin's notch in the top. That goes all the way across, then we've got all these hills across here. Yes, there's a load of buildings in the scene, but it's still a beautiful view. Now what I'm thinking of doing is shooting a pano of this. I've leveled my tripod. I've got the 55 to 200 on it. I'm guessing about 90mm, something like that. I've made sure that the camera itself is level using the artificial horizon, and I am exposing for the brightest part of the scene, which at the moment means f11 1/125th of a second. And what I'm going to do is shoot a pano all the way across. I'm not sure if I'm going to use all of it, but I'm going to use quite a lot of it. And then what I'll probably do is just hang in for a while as the light changes. We are still just over an hour from sunset, so the light is quite strong, but once it goes down a bit further, we might actually find the light on the scene isn't as nice. So we'll have to see. I'm going to do that shoot now. Okay, all the way over to the left, I'm going to do a shot with one finger in front of it. Marks the beginning of the pano, and then one without. Okay, exposure's good, and then overlapping a third roughly on each shot. This is going to be wide, probably 10, 11 images. That's 2. And also just letting things settle a little bit between each shot. What I've decided to do, I've actually widened my focal length to 55mm, just allowing a bit more breathing room around the scene. And what it also allows me to do is just get the top edge of the cloud layering that's sitting behind the mountain, because that's got some quite nice patterns in it. And zoomed in as much as I was losing all of that and just had the clouds that were behind the mountain rather than the top of them. So what you've got now is clouds, and then they start to kind of scatter out and then head into more blue sky. We are about 52 minutes until sunset. I've got to be honest, I'm probably not going to stay here too much longer. We're getting some nice light on the scene, so I'm going to hang in here maybe another 20-25 minutes at the most. The route up here was a bit of a scramble, and I was hoping I'd find an easier route back down. And though it looks like there might be some paths down there, I can't work out how to get to them, so I'm going to have to go back down the way that I came up. And I'd rather do it, you know, with a bit of time, not rushing, trying to get there before it gets dark. But we're already getting some pretty nice light on that scene now, and it's one of those scenes that I think is probably going to look better, you know, half an hour, 35 minutes before sunset, as opposed to at sunset or just after, because then the light will have gone off of the scene. So what's appealing to me about this scene, and the reason that I think it's probably going to be better shortly before sunset rather than actually at sunset, is what we've got is like a haze layer sitting sort of behind the big mountain Puig Campana, and then we've got the shadows of some of the mountains, and then we've got a few bits that are picking up light as well, just based upon the contours and shapes. The edge of Puig Campana is picking up a little bit of light, not a lot, but it might pick up a little bit more in a few minutes. And then the hills in front are kind of got sort of like rolling patterns on, so they're picking up light and texture as well. Right, we are about half an hour from sunset now, and I've been watching the light on the scene, and I've got a feeling we're sort of at the best of it now. So I'm going to shoot the pano now, so that'll be at 55mm, and then I will hang in a little bit longer just to see what happens, but I don't want to miss what I think might be the best light conditions. Okay, I hung in there for about another 10 minutes or so after shooting that last pano, and yeah, all the light did start to fade off of the scene. All of those nice textures and the shadow and light patterns all faded away. So I packed up and started my way back down. I was convinced I'd found an easier route down. Turned out to be a blooming sight harder than the route that I took going up, so I actually struggled a little bit, but I've taken my time, I've been careful, and I'm almost back to the car now. I'm ready to drive home. And that's it, I'm going to wrap the video up. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give it a like, share it on social media, leave me a comment. If you're new here and you've enjoyed this, don't forget to hit subscribe before you go. And as always, I really appreciate you taking the time to watch, so thank you very much. And until the next video, bye.